As 2022 draws to a close, Republicans are set to take over the House of Representatives. The January 6th committee is getting ready to wind down their investigation of former President Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election. So now on Wednesday, Benny Thompson, chairman of the panel, decided to, write to Mr. Trump's attorney, informing them that the subpoena would be dropped. Now, I'll get to the reason why. But first, we'll have Trump crowing about it. Here's what Thompson had written. In light of the imminent end of our investigation, the Select Committee can no longer pursue the specific information covered by the subpoena. Therefore, through this letter, I hereby formally withdraw the subpoena issued to former President Trump and notify you that he's no longer obligated to comply or produce records in response to said subpoena. So, I mean, very clearly, he says, look, it's the end of our investigation, so we don't have time. We're out of time. There you go. Now, of course, when Trump hears the news, he decides to throw a little victory party over on
truth essential.
And so here's what he said. Was just advised that the Unselect Committee of Political Thugs has withdrawn the subpoena of me going concerning the January 6th protest of the crooked 2020 presidential election. They probably did so because they knew I did nothing wrong or they were about to lose in court. Anyway, perhaps the FBI's involvement in rigging the election played into their decision. In any event, the subpoena is dead. Now, of course, tell me that you didn't read the letter without telling me you didn't read the letter. There's no way he read the letter. Then again, it's probably way too long for him and not broken up into tweet-length segments with his name peppered in between. Because remember, that's how he reads. Okay, look. Now, here's the thing. The investigation is over. Not because they have actually come to a conclusion and actually referred this to the Justice Department and said that, we think we have enough evidence for some criminal indictments. That said, the DOJ has their special counsel now, Jack Smith, who is looking into and getting as much of the evidence as he can. So certainly Donald Trump is not out of the woods yet. Still, Donald Trump throwing a party. No, the reason that the committee is over, which by the way is non-binding, right? They can't actually charge a former president or a sitting president or anything like that. They're a committee that was doing hearings. That was it. They don't have any legal power to do that stuff. As far as charging a president. Although they can, again, issue subpoenas, and if they, if somebody doesn't respond to that subpoena, they could do what they did to Steve Bannon and throw him in jail. The investigation is over because the current Congress is over. That's it. The committee was always supposed to end at this time. It ends on January 3rd. It was slated to dissolve on January 3rd. And so the hope was, of course, from Democrats that a good midterm result, at least in the House of Representatives, could lead to another committee being formed to finish out their work. I don't think there was any work need to be done. I think at this point, they have enough evidence to refer to the Justice Department that Donald Trump be indicted. And so, again, I don't see any additional work. That said, the midterm results led to Republicans taking back the House of Representatives, and Republicans have no interest in investigating January 6th at all. They just have none. In fact, I'm going to show you a video here. This is Chairman Ronna McDaniel telling you what Republicans do plan on spending their newfound majority in the House looking into.
You talked about some of the things, just getting answers for questions that have been unanswered for 2 years now. What do you think the most important question is that Republicans should get to the bottom of when they get there?
Well, we have to govern. We have to do things on behalf of the American people. But I do think we have to look at big tech and the suppression of the Hunter Biden laptop and real information that was prevented from getting to the voters because of big tech and the Biden administration and Democrats colluding together. I also think we do need to get to the origins of the pandemic. We should all look back and say, how did this happen? Why did this happen? Were we given clear information? Why were our kids kept out of school? What were the policies that worked and what didn't? And I think that's very fair. And this is what winning the Republican majority in the House is going to bring to the American people. This is a significant win, and it happened because of voters getting out and retiring Nancy Pelosi, and now Republicans will have the reins, finally.
Oh, okay. So basically you're going to do nothing. Why don't you bring like another Benghazi investigation back while you're at it? I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a stone somewhere in Libya that has not been unturned, and under it you will find Obama or something.
Obama.
All right, okay, so you're going to waste time. Fine. But, all right, good to know. Now, a little bit more about the subpoena, though. So basically, the panel was asking for Trump to produce phone calls, texts, encrypted messages, emails related to his efforts to try to overturn the 2020 election between November 3rd, 2020 and January 6th, 2021. So now what happened, of course, is that Donald Trump had sued and tied up the legal system so that he wouldn't have to do that or testify or anything like that. So how is this how does this prove that Donald Trump is innocent at all? Well, it doesn't. He just basically waited out the clock. Like, he gummed up the legal system, as he's used to doing. Because, again, he does this all the time. Appeals, sues, counter-sues, does all this stuff to just waste time. That's it, to drag everything out as long as possible so that he doesn't actually have to, in this case, do anything. Doesn't have to go to court. Doesn't have to provide any documentation. Doesn't have to do discovery. Yeah, I wonder why he would want to do that. Again, if somebody who's super innocent, as he said he is, well, then you would want to prove your case. This doesn't prove your case at all. It just, again, beats out the clock. That's it. That's it. And so it's a bit of a bitch move when you think about it. I mean, again, just waiting out the process, not going in, not defending yourself, because there is no defense here. But that's who Trump is. He's a bitch. He can't defend his position at all because there, again, is no defense. And then comes out later on and crows on social media about it. Oh, they knew I did nothing wrong. That's why it's over. No, you never even got into court, dude. You never even took the chance, because you had the chance, to come and testify and to prove your side, prove that you didn't do anything wrong. But again, bitch. Weak, sad, and pathetic. Of course, he's a worm. And he likes to wriggle away from any sort of accountability. And we should be absolutely used to that. I'm used to that. They don't call him Teflon Don for nothing, because nothing seems to stick to him at all. And so, look, honestly, it was kind of always going to be like this. Now, that said, I don't know if the DOJ, after Smith's investigation, is, the special counsel's investigation is going to, if they're going to actually do anything. If Merrick Garland, that's all on him. I don't have a lot of faith. I'm a very cynical person when it comes to people, especially rich and powerful people, continuing to get away with everything, because that's how this country is built. You always have rich and powerful people getting away with things unless they screw over other rich and powerful people. And so, again, I don't know if this case, if, the DOJ is going to actually take the information. And by the way, this is assuming, of course, that Jack Smith finds the evidence that he's looking for criminal charges and indictments against Donald Trump. We're just going to have to see. But here's Trump once again, claiming victory where there was no victory.